Hey guys, it's the Dutchams Foreman and welcome to this very special video. So a couple of weeks ago I got to go to Paris to play The Sims 4 City Living, so the brand new expansion pack for The Sims 4, and I got to play it early because it's coming out next week on November 1st. And today I'm here with information about the game because of course I've been able to play it, and today I'll finally be able to answer all the questions that you asked. Also I'll give more information on the game in general, but just a heads up, this video is focused on The Sims 4 City Living build mode, which means that I'll focus on semi-tunnel because I personally think that the world is very important for build mode because it's an entire new atmosphere. Then I'll talk about apartments and penthouses and what they work like and what they look like and how you can build them. And then I'll talk about build mode in general, which means the items and other build buy mode related things. And afterwards I'll do the Q&A in which I will answer questions that aren't build mode related as well. Because of course if you ask your question and it's not build mode related, you should still have the answer in my opinion. So the reason I decided to only focus on build mode is because I'm just a building channel, therefore I'm just very passionate about build mode, but not too much about live mode, and I know that there are many other people who will focus a lot on live mode, and therefore I thought I can better make a good quality video about build mode than just a general overall video also about live mode, even though I cannot say too much about it. If you want to know what the experience of going to Paris was like and also see my first ever travel vlog, check out the vlog which you currently see on the screen. It will lead you to the vlog video which I made. It's like 3 or 4 minutes. And I just did my best to create a vlog of the experience, but this video is all about the content of the game, and that video is not about the game but just about the experience of going to Paris. So at the event I had the opportunity to record 10 minutes of video footage and 15 screenshots. Well, the 15 screenshots worked out fine, but with the video footage something went wrong because for some reason I recorded in way too high quality, or at least not compressed, and therefore it was like 20 or 30 gigabytes of footage which I couldn't transfer in time to my USB stick to take back to the Netherlands because I had to catch the train. So therefore I only have like 1.5 minutes of video footage, which sort of sucks, I know, because I had actually recorded an entire apartment speed build very quickly, but I managed to do it within the 10 minutes, but I can't show that to you. But just keep in mind, the game is coming out next week and then I'll be able to upload a lot of speed builds. So yeah, I'm sorry for this, but I think you should still be able to get enough information about build mode from this video. So let's just get started. So first up is semi-tunnel. Semi-tunnel is the brand new world that's coming with this The Sims 4 City Living expansion pack. And I'm honestly so happy that we finally have an entire new environment to build in. It looks just so cool. You've got 4 different neighborhoods. You currently see a small time-lapse playing, but you've got 4 different neighborhoods, all inspired by different cultures. So this is the spice market. It's not very fancy. It kind of reminds me of Brooklyn when it comes to the way it looks. And this is kind of the starter area where your Sims go to when they just arrive in the city. And here you see a screenshot of the world, or this neighborhood in particular. And then here you see what the apartments are. So these are very small apartments, a couple of them on 1 level, and there are 2 regular ground level lots. We've not got many of them in the game. This neighborhood actually got most of them because it's got 1 public ground lot and also 1 residential lot on like the regular level, and the residential lot is the only one that you've got in the game. The rest that are on the ground level are all commercial or public buildings. And of course all the other lots are either in apartments or penthouses, but I'll go into that and what the difference is and what they look like later on in the video, so just stay tuned for that. This is a very interesting neighborhood because it looks very different from the other 3. Actually they are all very different from each other, but this one is really just not modern at all. This is just like the old city, kind of the way you imagine it. So the next one is the Arts Quarter, which is a little bit more fancy already. It's more modern than the Spice Market, like definitely. And you've got a couple of skyscrapers and flats around. And here you see what I remember are the apartments placed in here. You've also got a penthouse in this neighborhood. And yeah, just keep in mind that I don't remember the locations of the penthouse, so what level they were on exactly, because I forgot to write that down. But the buildings which they are placed in, I know like nearly for sure that there are apartments over there, but I'm not sure whether it are like several level apartments or only one level apartment. But again, later on in this video I'll talk about apartments like more in depth. So yeah, in the middle we've got the art gallery, and that's an answer to one of the questions, because no, the art gallery, so that building is not an apartment, it's just a regular lot which you can build anything on, but it's currently set in the game as an art gallery. So next up is the fashion district. It's like quite a fancy place to live. It looks like really cool with a huge overpass. You currently see that time-lapse again, and also we've got a time-lapse up by night, which I think looks awesome. I mean, look at the game. This is beautiful. The graphics of the world are just, yeah, you really live in a city. I heard that they really did their best to really make it look like a city, vibrant, with very many people. If you look, you see very many people moving. And also, yeah, back in the days with Bridgeport in The Sims 3, you only had like a couple of skyscrapers, but not an entire environment. And here you really have a city environment with buildings all around. So here you again see where I think, or where I believe the apartments were, and also you've got a really cool penthouse, which you definitely know from the trailers if you watch them. And also there is a multiple level apartment, so I'm not too sure which one it is. And yeah, it's just a very lively area with all the trams passing by. So the last neighborhood is Uptown. It's the fourth one, and this is a very, well, in my opinion, futuristic place. It's the least realistic one of them, and yeah, it's kind of symbolic. I mean, if you've made it to the top financially, you also want to live like above the skyline, so therefore it's just over all the other big buildings, over all the other tall buildings. And also I saw a helicopter fly by, just as a small decorational item, but yeah, they just added that. You can't actually fly the helicopter, but it's just a small cool detail. And again, you see where the apartments and also the penthouse are located. And also here you've got a couple of multiple level apartments, which are really cool. So yeah, that's the world. I'm very happy with the way it looks, and finally the fact that we have a new world, because worlds are just so important for the atmosphere in which you build. And yeah, you can also build apartments in skyscrapers now, but apartments is the next topic on the list. But before I'm going to talk about the actual apartments, we're just going to start at the top, at the penthouses, because I actually built a penthouse in the game. I'll show you the footage right now. And yeah, it's just built on top of a skyscraper, and there are nearly the same restrictions as regular lots have when it comes to building skyscrapers. As you can see, this is sort of like a regular house, but just built on top of a skyscraper, which makes it totally different. Luckily, we can build walls all the way to the side of the lot, which means that you can make it fit in with the actual skyscraper a little bit better. But still, you can like put anything very strange on this. It doesn't have to fit. You can just create whatever you want, which is really, yeah, just a new aspect. You know, you've got cool views from out of your penthouse. You can add pools, like you said. See, I actually added a basketball field on top of the skyscraper as well. I saw them do that in the trailer, and I thought I've got to try that. So I sort of kind of made some fence around it to make it seem a little bit more realistic, because of course if the ball falls down, yeah, if you get a basketball in your head from like how many feet, I guess like 300-400 feet, that's kind of painful. So I thought, you know, I'm going to add like some fences around. And here you also see the interior of this penthouse, which I built. So penthouses are very simple, because they work exactly the same as regular lots do. So you can build like 4 wall heights, which is the regular restriction. You can also change the wall heights. You can build pools, just everything. And there are 3 penthouses available in San Mychuno, for as far as I remember. In the Arts Quarter we've got one, in the Fashion District we've got one, and we've also got one in the in Uptown. And we don't have one in the Spice Market, because that's just not a very fancy neighborhood, so penthouses just don't really belong there. So yeah, those look really cool. I just had a lot of fun creating it. But apartments are even more interesting because you probably don't know yet what they exactly work like. I didn't know that either before I started the game, and also while playing the game I needed some time to figure it out. Well, it was sort of clear what they work like, but I wanted to know what restrictions they have. But before we go into that, I want to tell you what it works like, how you get into an apartment. So you can just rent an apartment, which means that you pay a monthly fee. And then you can choose in a building what apartment you want. You've got apartments ranging from 1 level to 3 levels. The highest or the tallest one has got 3 levels. And if you click on it, you can actually, in like the explore or edit rules, you can see all the levels and what they are currently furnished like. But you can also, in the case of like smaller apartments where you've got only 1 level, for instance in the Spice District or the Spicy area, or another area, the Arts District, anywhere where you've got several apartments on 1 level, which is very logical because that's what you usually have. You have like 3 or 4 apartments on 1 level, then you can first up choose the skyscraper, and then afterwards you can choose what actual build or what actual apartments of like the 3 or 4 that are on the level you want. And then you go into it, and then you get a view like this one, which you currently see. This is a very small apartment which I built for the speed build, which I managed to still take a screenshot of, but of which I couldn't take the recorded video footage. As you can see like the apartment very clearly, the apartment that you selected, and the rest of the building is kind of vaked out sort of with that metal texture, I guess. In that way you cannot see into the other apartments, and it's just really the focus that's on your apartment and the hallway, which you cannot edit. You can unfortunately not edit the hallway yourself. It's just the main, it's there and you cannot edit anything about it. Maybe with cheats at some point we will be able to do so, but I have honestly not asked that question. I actually wondered that when I came back home. So I guess we'll have to figure that out once the game comes out. So then there is also apartments that are 3 levels. This one, for instance, which you currently see me looking at in the video, I still managed to get this clip with me. And this is a very fancy one because it's an apartment which has all 3 levels. So it's not even shared, it's just 3 full levels for this apartment. They even have like a pool in the apartment, so you can actually just add pools in apartments. But you cannot change the wall height, which is very obvious because otherwise the building would look strange from the outside if all the levels are like 1 wall height and then one is all of a sudden 2 wall heights. It would be strange. And also it's not possible to change the wall structure, so you cannot change the shape of the apartment. So it's just a shelf which you decide to build in, and then you've got a restricted space to just build and furnish, which is sort of obvious. I would have liked to see the possibility or the opportunity to really structure your entire own apartment, but that's obviously not possible. But I did kind of play around with this and trying to see how much I can still change when it comes to the shape and the balconies, because as you can see, this one has got a balcony. I did my best to see what I can change when it comes to windows and walls, and here you can see that windows can be changed at some parts. When it comes to the places around the balcony, and then you can also change the walls there, so you can kind of, from places where you've got a balcony, you can change the shape of the apartment, but still you've got very many restrictions of walls which need to be in the building sort of, which is obvious because otherwise in real life, if you wouldn't have those walls, the entire building would collapse. One thing which I also tried out is placing a pool on top of or on the balcony of an apartment, so not of a penthouse but of an apartment, and it actually works, and you can build it all the way to the side, which is awesome because in that way you can create a rooftop pool, a rooftop balcony pool, which is really cool. So not only a rooftop balcony pool, but a rooftop infinity balcony pool, which is just really cool. I tried it out and I was actually surprised that that was possible, because on normal lots, of course, it's not possible to build the pool all the way to the side. You always need to have like 1 square width between it, sort of. So yeah, that's apartments. You've really got very many shapes and different sorts of apartments in the game. I believe like 20 maybe more, maybe a little bit less. I'm not too sure, but very many different ones. Some are huge, like really bigger than a regular LUTs in the game. So like I think it would be the size of 30 by 30, something like that. Then you've also got ones which are 3 levels, like I said, but also very small ones. The one which I built for the speed build was very small, and they are even smaller in the spice market area. But like I said, there are also very big ones in which you can add like a gym, and still you have like 3 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms. So you can really go all crazy when it comes to apartments, and there are very many different shelves to choose from, when it comes to apartments, but you cannot customize too much about them. So yeah, build mode is up next, because of course no expansion pack without new items, especially for builders like me and you most likely. So the build buy mode items, I decided to just put all of them on a lot and then take a screenshot. So here, well, I only took a screenshot of the buy items, but I can still talk about the build mode items as well. So as you can see, these are all the buy mode items that come with this brand new expansion pack, and as you can see, there are quite a lot of new items. The biggest one, or the coolest one in my opinion, or one of the coolest ones, is the basketball field, because it's much more customizable than I'd expected. I thought it was just one big block, like we saw in the trailers, with like the basket and the field and everything, that it's just one item. But as you can see, it's just very separate. If you only want to have a basket at your wall, you can only add that one. You can only add like a basket on like a pole, sort of. That's possible. They can also add a small field or just the huge field, and also you can change the colors of the fields. So in that way, it's much more customizable than I had expected, which I think is really cool, and just really is a cool addition, sort of, because in that way you don't really need like 8 by 8 squares in order to add it, but you can also just add like the basket on the wall, and in that way have your Sims play it. And also finally, after like a couple of years, well, it felt like years at least, we have new beds in the game, 4 of them. Yeah, 4 or 3, because one of them actually seems like to be twice in the screenshot, but I don't think I just added it twice, so maybe it's twice in the game as well, and there is a small difference, but it seems like there are 3 new beds, which are very modern, or pretty modern. I'm happy with them. They are quite different, 1 single bed and 2 double beds. And also there's some really cool modern decorative items. You maybe saw them in the penthouse build that I did already, which I just showed you previously in this video. And you can also see them over here in the screenshot. And yeah, I just want to say sorry already, because I'm going to use these items, these decorative items, way too much. I'm sure about that, because they're so modern and look so cool. I'm really going to use those a lot. When I saw those, I was like, I'm immediately going to add those. It might be strange if you're not really a builder, but if you are a builder, I'm sure that you understand my passion for small modern items like these. I rather have those, like one of such items, than like 10 chairs. I'm very happy with those being in the game, but there are, as you can see, also more than 10 chairs, very many like cool industrial items like sofas, lights, rugs, yeah, just modern, but also industrial, really cool, just very city-like, which is obvious for a city living expansion pack, of course. And also there's a curved TV, so you know, it's not something very special, but I did thought it was a cool addition that they decided to kind of go on with innovation, which is going on in real life as well. So they added a curved television. And also there are very many modern cabinets. You currently see them, and I'm going to use those a lot as well, and they really look realistic and good, and I'm happy with those. So when it comes to the build mode items, so windows and doors, etc., I would honestly have liked to see a little bit more windows. There are 2 windows, which are very typical for the city, because they are like some sort of like those windows with those small squares in them. I use them in the penthouse, and those windows, you can have several variations of them, so different colors but also different textures, which makes that it's practically a couple of windows which are added, but it seems like it's only one. type of window. So when I saw that, I was sort of disappointed, but then I thought, oh, actually there are quite a few windows, but as a builder there are never enough windows. They would literally, I would be very happy if they would make a Windows pack, where most people would be like, that's the most stupid pack there is. I would really like that, but there are some doors coming with the expansion pack as well. But one is very big, 3 squares, which might be useful in some like places, but not too often, I guess. And no new trees or plants as expected, because what kind of trees or plants would you add in a city expansion pack? You know, you don't have as much nature in the city, of course. And I believe 4 new fences and a couple of new wall paintings and floor tiles as well, but I don't remember exactly what they look like. I should have definitely taken a screenshot of that, but I believe I took a video of it and I couldn't take that with me. Yeah, that's a pity. But yeah, quite a lot of items. I'm not too sure whether it's more or less than with the previous expansion packs. It might be a little bit less than with Get Together, because there was like really a ton of items with that expansion pack, but we didn't really have a new build mode possibility in that game, and in this game we do, because we've got apartments and penthouses. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then now it's time to answer all of your questions, because before I went to Paris I asked you to ask me your questions that you've got about the game. So there I just had a list with me. I went to sit behind the game and just looked for all the answers. So here they are coming. I did my best to answer all of them. I hope I did. If not, then just leave your question once more in the comments, and then I might remember what the answer is and I'll just answer it in the comments. Also, if you've got new questions, you can just ask me in the comments. I'm not too sure if I can answer everything, because I'm just in the middle of an exam week by the time I'm uploading this. So I don't have too much time to watch the YouTube comments, but I promise you that by the time the expansion pack releases, I'll really be back on YouTube for the full 100%. But yeah, the questions. So the first question is, can you go to other apartments in the same building? Yes, you can. Often there are a couple of apartments on one level, and then you just get out on the hallway, and I guess you just knock on the door, and then you can talk with the neighbors and visit other apartments as well. I believe. Of course, I've not really gone too much into live mode, and this is a live mode related question, so I'm not entirely sure, but I guess it works like the same as visiting neighbors in currently works like, so going to another lot. Whether there is a loading screen, I'm not too sure about that. Is there going to be a celebrity system like in The Sims 3? No, nothing in particular. Are we able to build non-residential lots in apartment buildings, such as bars, nightclubs, restaurants, retail shops? You can build them on penthouses, but not in apartments. How many residential lots does San Machuno have? I actually didn't count this myself, because there are very many apartments like separately in the world everywhere, and I forgot to count this. I did ask Simgur Grant, and he was like counting, and he said it was about 20. So I think 20 is a good estimate. There are really very many apartments in all the buildings. Are elevators available in build mode? No, but you will actually see elevators in build mode, but as an item which you have to add to your apartment, and you can replace them on the penthouse as well, but you cannot functionally use them in any lot. So you have to add them, but you can't build them or use them in regular houses. So it's not actually a build by mode item. Is it possible to have neighbors next to your apartment on the same level as a created household? And yes, you can just have, there are several apartments in some cases on one level. So a couple of apartments on one level, and then you can just have other people next to your own household, sort of. What is the size of the basketball field? It's 10 by 9. I did actually count every single square of it for this question. I thought it was sort of a funny question. Are there any new sports added to City Living? Well, basketball is a new sport. I believe that is the only new sport coming to the game, but it's something. Alrighty, so those were the questions which I took with me to Paris. Some of them might not be in there because I've actually answered them in the rest of the video already, and some might not be in the video because they were too late for me to take with me. And in that case, I just re-ask the question in the comments and I'll get back to you sometime before the release. I hope I'll be able to get the answers, because of course I also don't know everything about the game by heart. And otherwise I'll let you know once the game has come out and I can check out for myself. But anyways, this is the end of this preview build mode video about The Sims 4 City Living, which is coming out next week on the 1st of November. I'm totally looking forward to it, and I'm very happy that I've finally been able to share all this with you, because I've had to keep it silent for quite a long time since I got back from the event, which was totally awesome. I'm very happy to have been invited, and yes, I look forward to playing the game myself and just creating very many speed builds in which I build apartments and penthouses and everything. So let me know, what should I create first? What should I do a let's build on, because that's all what I'm interested in, because in that way I can create the best videos for you once the game has come out. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching my videos and actually making this possible, making it possible that I could go to Paris to play the new game. And yeah, I hope you have an awesome day, and yeah, bye bye.